Hello everybody, welcome back to Wolfeei. Today we're going to be talking about the end of blockwars Series 2. No! But actually, it's a blessing, and I'll explain, okay? I'll explain. I know, it's going to be tough with no blockwars for a little bit. After Chaos, obviously. But I said that I was going to make a video on this, and now's the time. Look, blockwars teams randomly got announced. I had Mayhem yesterday and didn't have time to record, so today it is. Anyways, before we get into that, the reason, or the thing I, said, like, that I promised to say was in the blockwars Chaos Explained video. If you haven't seen that one, and you need some more info on blockwars Chaos, go watch the Explaining blockwars Chaos video. I explained blockwars Chaos in a similar format as I will be explaining the Series 2 break. Alright. Also, shout out Kotlin. I always want some gameplay in the background, and Kotlin is live, so hey, shout out Kotlin. Here we go. The end of blockwars Series 2. Let me turn the music a tad. So, the end of blockwars Series 2. I will be going over this. There's 4 main things to talk about, and I have not ranked. There's a list. Anyways, let's get into it. What does the end of blockwars Series 2 actually mean? It means that blockwars will be going on break after blockwars Chaos / Origins Chaos. We group that into one event internally. I know that some of the audience doesn't see those things as being the same. Obviously, the player base is very different, but internally, it's the same cycle. So, after Chaos as a whole, blockwars will be going on break. How long? I won't tell. I know probably how long it's going to be, but I will say it is longer than the previous break between blockwars 7 and blockwars 8. There you go. So, yeah. There will be a significant internal change. Okay, let me turn the music a little bit again. There will be significant internal change, and I will talk about that. I will not be talking about any, like, potential gameplay changes, etc., because I've also been requested not to do so, and I don't do that anyways, because I don't, like, spoiling is not fun, okay? In terms of something like this, I think spoiling is boring, and, like, if I told you, oh, new extraction map, cool, now you know that, like, however many months in advance. Cool, anyways. So that's the definition of blockwars Series 2 ending. It means the same as it has meant when Series 1 to 2 changed, and we'll elaborate a little bit more. Why is Series 2 ending might be a question on your mind. Now that I've told you the definition of Series 2 ending, you might be wondering, well, why? Well, blockwars currently runs on script, and I assume a lot of you guys don't do development stuff, you don't code. I assume a lot of you just watch events and just enjoy it. Script is a code base that's very quick and easy, but it has a limit, okay? It has a very, very massive limit, which I have also written down here. The reason we went on break between blockwars 7 and blockwars 8 wasn't just because we obviously wanted some extra time off to let the staff team, take a bit of time for themselves and whatnot. It was also because there was a significant internal change that we wanted to make. Not as significant as the actual internal change that we're making for this break, but there was a pretty significant internal change that we wanted to make. And while the devs were trying to figure that out within script, they kind of reached the maximum realistic potential of script. In order to be able to do it within script, they would have had to completely change, like, the structure of the code base to adjust for it, and that's just not worth the time, right? That if we already know that script isn't that great, it's not very reliable, it's just quick and easy, why go the extra mile to take probably months to figure out this new change when another code language can do a better job? And I'll get into that as well. Script loves randomly breaking. When I say it's unreliable, I am not lying. It has randomly broken. I'm not a developer, but I hear about this constantly. Not like once a month, once an event, multiple times every single event. And it's really annoying. It's really frustrating, and it has caused a lot of the devs some random increase in workload that often hasn't been easy for them to deal with. Everyone in the staff team is a part-time volunteer, so everyone just has, does it out of passion, and they have other things to do in their life as well. Randomly gaining an extra couple hours of workload, they have to figure that out somehow. They have to, where does the time come from, So rather want to avoid having to randomly have to fix something that takes hours to fix, etc. Especially if it happens right before the event. It's extremely stressful. So yeah, script, we do not like scripts, okay? No thank you. No thanks. Which is also why, obviously, well, I don't know what I was going to say, but that's why we haven't made a significant update for a couple events now, because why would we? If we already have known about this plan to change code bases for a while. So obviously everything that we had planned for Block Wars 8 has been implemented between Block Wars 8 and Block Wars 10. There you go. Yes, there was a lot more planned to happen in Block Wars 8, but it had to be stretched out. And obviously I moved some stuff forward to get that stuff, to fill some space. But yeah, there was a lot planned for the first event back. Trailblazers and Turf Wars were supposed to be in Block Wars 8 initially, so there's a fun little leak. You want to know why it wasn't in earlier? Script. That's why. Because of script. Anyways, moving on. What is changing significantly? Let me just completely reveal that. We're moving to a new code base with new opportunities, okay? New opportunities thanks to Kotlin. Kotlin will be the new language that Block Wars will be coded on. I think pretty much in its entirety. Maybe even just fully. I don't know. I'm not a dev. Maybe they use Java here and there. I don't know if they do. Probably for something. Maybe something you need Java. I don't know. But script at least is not being used anymore going into Series 3. So thank you, Kotlin, code language, for making the devs' lives at least a lot easier, and therefore, domino effect, the rest of the staff team also have a better time. This change will not be nearly as comparable to the difference between Series 1 and Series 2. I will say this right now. In terms of gameplay changes, in terms of internal changes, in terms of what the audience will be able to see, and even how it will be managed for us internally, the change between Series 2 and Series 3 is not nearly as much as the change between Series 1 and Series 2. If you don't know, Series 1 was based on data packs. If you don't know what a data pack is essentially just command blocks premium. It's just Minecraft code, essentially. Not Java, but like a code language made by Minecraft, essentially. It's not entirely accurate, but that's the best way to put it. And going from that to a proper code base with script, not super proper, but it's a little bit, obviously, at least a little bit better. The difference won't be nearly as noticeable, okay? The event looked pretty much entirely different in the start of Series 2 than it did in Block Wars All-Stars, so don't expect the same to happen. The first Block Wars Series 3 event will not look entirely different from the way Block Wars Chaos will look. Just as a heads up. So don't set your expectations too high, please. Please. Okay? And I'll get into that a little bit in the last point as well. What can you expect to change? Well, Buster, what can you expect to change? Let me scroll down a little bit in this. There you go. Well, typical changes between an event series or seasons, depending on which event they call it differently. Essentially just MCC season or Block Wars series, or I think PB might also use series, I don't know. But typical changes between an event like that. For example, maybe some visual changes, not gameplay related, but some visual changes. Maybe, updated graphics here and there. Or maybe team names could be different. Team icons could be updated. Stuff like that. None of what I've said is confirmed to happen for Block Wars, because it's not important yet. We're focused on dev stuff, so who knows if that's changing? I don't know, but yeah, typical stuff you can expect. Look, we're going to be gone for a little bit. Obviously, we will have stuff made. What is it going to be? Who knows? I guess you'll find out. And then, yeah, just expect less, and all that can happen at that point is you can only be pleasantly surprised. I hope that it makes sense for you as well. Just don't expect to, like, yes, 4 new games. Like, that's not happening, obviously. way too much at that point. But yeah, there will be different approaches to how the event would be ran, I guess. It's not just like dev that will be approached differently. I'm sure the build team will try to do some things differently than they have in the past. I'm sure player management will try to handle things differently than they have in the past, which I think is probably the most interesting for you as the audience. Player management, Anthos and I have been talking a lot, and we have some ideas for what we can do in Series 3. Whether that is a spin-off event, whether that is just the first event back, second event back, whatever. There's some cool ideas we have, and I'm sure that you guys will be excited to find out what that is whenever it happens. Probably a couple months from now. No, maybe not. I don't know how long, but a little while from now, I guess. Anyways, I hope that gives some insight on Series 2, why it's ending. If you have any questions in the comments below, I can try to answer. I will tell you right now. I will make it very clear, okay? If you ask me a question like, oh, is this game going to be in Series 3? Oh, is this changing gameplay-wise or whatever? I will not answer. Just logically, anything that I have not mentioned, I probably won't be able to answer. Otherwise, I would have mentioned it. But if you have a question, you can ask, and I'll just... If it's something that I can't say, I will just maybe even reply being like, can't say. And I hope you understand. Anyways, thank you all for watching. I'll see you later. Goodbye.